Welcome to another Genshin Interact video. I'm Rift, and as usual, I am joined by Vixen. Let us know down in the comments if this guide was helpful or if you have any other tips about the character. As always, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel for future content. Thank you for watching, and now, on to the video.
Xiao sits on another banner with his second rerun. With his strength in-game as a strong DPS, it's not surprising he is getting yet another rerun. First, let's take a look at his 3 talents and the priority of leveling. Xiao is heavily based off of his burst and should be top priority for you to level. In Xiao's burst, he puts on his Yaksha mask, which greatly increases his jump height, increases his damage and AoE, and converts all damage to anemo damage. Remember that his anemo damage in his burst cannot be overridden by any elemental infusion, but with the power that the Yaksha mask gives him, the mask also continuously takes health from Xiao's max HP. Leveling this talent will not only increase the damage output, but will also decrease how much HP is taken from Xiao while he has his burst active. His burst has a cooldown of 18 seconds and a duration of 15 seconds, so you do not have to worry about your Xiao going until he's dead, but his burst can kill him at a low HP. Due to Xiao's crazy jumping ability in his burst, his main way of damaging is to jump, plunge attack, repeat. The next talent priority is normal attacks. Since his main way of damaging is plunging in his burst, the normal attack talent, which increases normal, charged, and plunging attacks, will give him more DPS in his burst. His third talent priority is his skill. While his skill can give off good damage, it is better to put your time and effort into the other 2 talents. Xiao uses his skill to dash either on the ground or above the ground, erasing enemies in his path. This skill can be a good source of damage after you have gotten your other 2 talents to a level you like them at. If you do not want to use your crowns, I suggest making his normal attack and burst talent at level 9 and putting his skill at 8. If you are looking to use 1 crown, crown his burst. If you are looking to use 2 crowns, crown his burst and his normal attack talent. His skill is not necessary to crown, and in my opinion can be a waste of a crown. Max level for his skill should be 8 or 9.
Next, it is good to know that Xiao ascends into crit rate with a maximum increase of 19.2% at Ascension Phase 6. Alongside his talents, there are Xiao's 2 passive talents. His first passive talent gives all damage a 5% bonus while he is in his burst. All damage is increased by another 5% every 3 seconds he is in his burst. His second passive talent states that when you use his skill, the subsequent uses of his skill have a 15% damage bonus. This effect lasts for 7 seconds and has a maximum of 3 stacks. Gaining a new stack refreshes the 7-second effect. A large part of every character's build is their artifact sets and stats. First, we will talk about Xiao's best artifact sets. His best in slot set is the 4-piece Vermilion Hereafter set. This set was actually designed specifically for Xiao and can be found in the overworld region of the Chasm. The 2-piece set gives him an 18% attack bonus, while the 4-piece set's ability triggers when the character uses their burst. This ability increases the character's attack by 8% for 16 seconds, and when the character's HP decreases, their attack is further increased by 10% and stacks 4 times, occurring every 0.8 seconds. The effect will end when the character leaves the field. Using the burst again will remove this nascent light effect and start gaining stacks from 0 again. This ability allows Xiao's attack to increase when he loses health while he is in his burst or when you take a hit. This set, unlike other sets, turns Xiao's HP loss in his burst to be a positive effect. This set can give your Xiao a maximum of 66% attack for 12 seconds in his burst. If you do not wish to grind this artifact set, there are some other sets that work very well on Xiao. The other 4-piece set alternative is Desert Pavilion Chronicle. Now, I've seen much dispute between which set is actually better. The difference in damage is so small that I would personally suggest just using whatever artifact set you have with better substats. 2-piece Viridescent Venerer and Desert Pavilion Chronicle both give 15% anemo damage bonus, and using any 2-piece attack percent set is viable as well. The 2-piece sets Gladiator's Finale, Shimenawa's Reminiscence, Vermilion Hereafter, and Echoes of an Offering all give an 18% attack bonus. We suggest mixing any of these 2-piece sets to help Xiao's damage. Remember that, technically speaking, Xiao will benefit from the 4-piece Vermilion Hereafter set the most, and also that substats are always more useful than an artifact set. So ultimately, use whatever you have the best balance of substats on. Now let's talk about the main stats you want to look for on Xiao. The Sand's main stat you should be looking for is attack percent, while his Goblet should be anemo damage bonus, and his Circlet should be crit rate or crit damage depending on what you need. If you are lacking on crit rate, then focus on getting a crit rate Circlet and crit damage if you are lacking there. Considering Xiao ascends into crit rate and usually uses a crit rate weapon, it is usually better to use a crit damage circlet. For substats on your artifacts, Xiao wants crit rate, crit damage, attack percent, and some energy recharge. Since Xiao is a main DPS, You'll want to focus on damage stats like crit rate, crit damage, and attack percent more than energy recharge. While it is important to make sure you have enough energy recharge to ensure getting your burst back on cooldown, energy recharge is not as necessary since you will most likely be using an Animo battery to feed particles into your Xiao.
After artifact sets and artifact stats, the next major part of a character's build is their weapon. Xiao has options for both veterans and new players. His best in slot will be his 5-star polearm Primordial Jadewing Spear. The main stat gives you 22.1% crit rate at level 90, so make sure to grab crit rate on your artifact substats or get a crit rate circlet. This polearm's ability increases attack by 3.2% for 6 seconds when you hit an enemy at Refinement 1. This effect can stack up to 7 times. When you gain the max amount of stacks, your damage is increased by 12%. While this weapon can increase your Xiao's damage by an incredible amount, there are some other options if you do not or cannot go for his weapon. Hu Tao's weapon, Staff of Homa, is the next best 5-star for Xiao. At level 90, this weapon gives you 66.2% crit damage. The Refinement 1 abilities are as follows: increases HP by 20%, attack bonus based on 0.8% of max HP, and when your HP falls under 50%, the previous attack bonus increases by an additional 1%, making it a 1.8% attack bonus of max HP. Xiao can also make use of the 4-star Battle Pass Polearm Deathmatch. This weapon gives 36.8% crit rate at level 90. The Refinement 1 abilities for this weapon are as follows: if there are 2 or more enemies nearby, attack and defense are increased by 16%. If there are 1 or no enemies nearby, attack is increased by 24%. I would recommend getting this weapon to Refinement 5 as soon as possible if you can get the Battle Pass consistently, because this weapon can be Xiao's second best weapon at Refinement 5. Deathmatch does have a higher crit rate and can be better for boss fights than Xiao's signature 5-star weapon, Primordial Jadewing Spear. Some other 4-star options are Lithic Spear, which gives attack percent and some crit rate, and Blacklift Pole, which gives crit damage and attack percent. Xiao's 5-star Primordial Jadewing Spear is technically his best in slot, but Staff of Homa and Refinement 5 Deathmatch can outperform his signature weapon at times. Any of these weapons will solidify your Xiao as a heavy damage dealer in your team.
Following weapons, we look at Xiao's Constellations. His first Constellation will give you an extra charge of his skill for a total of 3 charges. Not only does this give some extra particles in DPS, this also makes more use of his second passive talent that increases the damage of subsequent uses of his skill by 15%. Xiao's second Constellation increases his energy recharge by 25% when he is in the party but not on the field. His third Constellation increases the level of his skill by 3, which can go over the max talent level of 10, capping at 13. His fourth Constellation gives a 100% defense bonus when his HP falls under 50%. His fifth Constellation increases the level of his burst by 3, which also goes over the cap of 10 up to 13. His sixth Constellation states that while Xiao is in his burst and hits at least 2 opponents with his plunging attacks, it will grant him 1 charge of his skill, and for the next 1 second, he may use his skill while ignoring its cooldown. This completely changes your attack pattern of Xiao while in burst, but greatly increases his overall damage.
Even though Xiao's Constellations can help him a lot, and he is a hyper carry, surrounding him with good teammates can skyrocket his damage higher than it already is. Although he is an Animo character, Elemental Mastery and swirling with other elements does not work too effectively on Xiao, so it is best to focus on characters that buff Xiao's damage. Obviously, Bennett is a great help to him, as he is to most DPS. Bennett's burst can heal and give an attack bonus to whoever is inside the area of his burst. Farazan is an amazing support to help Xiao, as she can decrease enemies' resistance to Animo damage when enemies are hit by her burst. If you have Farazan at Constellation 6, then she gives 40% increased Animo crit damage to other party members when she pops her burst. Characters like Toma and Zhongli can buff Xiao's plunges when protected by their shields. Raiden Shogun increases Xiao's elemental burst damage by using her skill, and Kujusara can increase Xiao's attack by using her skill. We have to mention Yelan, since Yelan will be on the second half of this version and can buff Xiao's damage by using her burst. The team I will be using in the gameplay will be Xiao, Raiden Shogun, Farazan, sadly not Constellation 6, and Bennett. Enjoy the gameplay.
Cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now. A little stronger now. You cashed in on my promises. You know I'm too generous. Now I've learned to never help you out. 'Cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now. A little stronger now.
Thank you for watching the video. If you have any extra tips or tricks you know or used with your own Xiao, please go ahead and let us know in the comments. Thank you again, and we'll see you in the next one.